The New York Giants are in line to make a lot of changes in this offseason, as John Mara did something he hasn't done in a very long time to my knowledge, and that is completely restart the entire front office and completely build from the ground up. You know, we've gone past the years, we don't need to go through the examples, but John Mara has consistently, always done things backwards and fire the GM, keep the coach, or keep the coach and fire the GM, but no more. John Mara has listened to the fans, has listened to the outside, and he is finally going to, I guess, kind of swallow his pride a little bit and just restart all over again. It didn't seem like he wanted to restart all over again. It seemed like he wanted to keep Joe Judge for another year, but due to obviously the New York media and the surrounding noise around, the New York Giants, everything was leading to Joe Judge eventually being fired. So, now we're restarting, just starting all over from the ground up. And now there are a lot of players that their security as a New York Giant is definitely in jeopardy with the absence of Dave Gettleman and now with the absence of Joe Judge. There are two players in particular that I really want to talk about, as they've kind of been circulating in the news as far as their seniority or security with the New York Giants goes. So that being said, let's get right into it. What's going on, guys? What's going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We talk Giants and we talk general NFL stuff. So that being said, let's get into Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Now, John Mara recently held a press conference a couple of days ago. It may have been yesterday, or day before yesterday by the time you guys are seeing this video. John Mara was asked about Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and their future with the New York Giants, and he had this to say in quotes. It says, "In terms of Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley or anyone else you want to ask me, that's going to be between the general manager and head coach." Now, this is a total shift from what he's previously said about Daniel Jones and about Saquon Barkley and even about other players in the past. Their futures are very much in jeopardy. You look at their recent seasons as of late, going back 2 seasons ago, Saquon Barkley tore his ACL in 2020 and after just one game, or 2 games rather, and then came into this season still a little bit hurt, still a bit shaken up, and still came back in the season, played 13 games, but really didn't look healthy in most of them. Finished with 593 yards, 4 total touchdowns, just had a really underwhelming season. And then you look at Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is going on his 2nd consecutive season with 11 or less touchdowns. Had 11 last year, had 10 this year, so that's a total of 21 touchdowns over the span of 2 seasons, and that is in 25 games. So you're looking at just under 1 touchdown a game for Daniel Jones, and it's just their seasons have been completely in a wreck these past 2 seasons, and whoever comes in here, GM and coach, they are not going to want to keep these guys around for very long. And the question is, what should the New York Giants do, or whoever it is going to be in charge, what should they do with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley? My best guess, and I guess I'll tell you right now, Daniel Jones, we'll start off with Daniel Jones, because that is probably the most controversy going around Twitter, going around YouTube, going around any sort of New York Giants talk right now, is what should the Giants do with Daniel Jones. A lot of people want to replace him this year. A lot of people are falling in love with quarterbacks like Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, and these are guys to me that just aren't worth starting a new franchise with. I know a lot of people are like, well, he's developmental. The Giants are in no way, shape, or form in position to take a raw prospect quarterback and develop him. We don't even know who is going to be on the coaching staff next year, let alone who's going to be blocking for the guy. We don't even know who's calling the shots as far as offensive coordinator goes. We know nothing about this year to draft a quarterback and try to develop this guy under Daniel Jones right now. I just don't see how getting a raw prospect quarterback is going to help the Giants and that quarterback in the future. You know, you drafted Malik Willis, who is a raw talent, probably going to be a good player down the road. I just don't think that he is going to succeed with the Giants, and I don't think the Giants are in position to draft a quarterback like Malik Willis right now, or Desmond Ridder, or Kenny Pickett, or these guys. The Giants really need a guy that's going to step in immediately and take control and just, you know, be a blue chip prospect. I'm waiting for like next draft. You know, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, these guys are, you know, top-notch quarterback prospects in my opinion, and I feel like the Giants shouldn't make the same mistake that they made in 2019 when they drafted Daniel Jones 6th overall, and then next year Justin Herbert was drafted 6th overall to the Los Angeles Chargers, when we could have waited another year and tried to get in that sweepstakes for Justin Herbert. And I know there's no guarantee of getting that player, but put yourself in position to do so. Don't just, you know, sit there and, you know, just because you're in a draft where you need a quarterback, you just, you know, off chance you just, you know, select a quarterback, you know, a second round pick, because these guys aren't even close to first round picks. Maybe you know, a couple of them will be first round picks because of the situation, but you know, the Giants have the 5th and 7th overall pick in this year's draft. In no way, shape, or form do I envision any of those picks going to any of the quarterbacks that are listed for the 2022 draft. That's going to Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Carson Strong. You know, the list goes on and on. I just don't see the New York Giants getting a top-notch quarterback prospect out of this draft, and especially utilizing one of those first-round picks. You would have to go out and use your second-round pick. At that point, do you really want to bank on a second-round pick to be the chance of the future for this franchise? Are we in position to develop a second-round pick talent quarterback and build him into a franchise guy after we've tried with a first-round quarterback? A lot of people consider him a second-round quarterback in Daniel Jones, and we failed at that. So I just don't think the New York Giants are in position to draft a quarterback this year, and they should wait, build that offensive line, set a foundation, know and have a plan with the guys that you've hired in your front office, your coaching staff, to try to plan to, you know, draft, you know, a quarterback like a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud going in next year's draft. So as far as what I want Daniel Jones next year, I want Daniel Jones to be a bridge quarterback. Now, I don't even care if he wows us or not next year. I just need him to get us through next season. You know, I'm going, you know, a total shift from how I thought about Daniel Jones going into last season. I really thought Daniel Jones could have potentially shown us that he's the guy, and I waited, you know, in his 3rd year to try to see if he can prove himself to be the guy. That wound up not to be the case. I'm giving up on Daniel Jones as our franchise quarterback. And listen, if he wows us, I still don't think the New York Giants should remain with Daniel Jones, because we've seen that Daniel Jones is capable of wowing you, like in his rookie season, still have some flaws, but also still, you know, have underwhelming seasons and not win despite of the talent around you. And that's what I'm really looking for, a quarterback that is going to win despite of the talent around you, and I don't think Daniel Jones is that guy. So I really want to use Daniel Jones as a bridge quarterback for this team next season, and, you know, try to get us, you know, down the road and down to next season and help us get another quarterback and then eventually let him go, because Daniel Jones is going into his 4th year. The New York Giants have yet to pick up a 5th-year option. Obviously, there's no GM, there's no coach, so there's no one to pick up there's no one there to pick up Daniel Jones's 5th-year option. They will have to wait till they hire somebody, and there is no way, shape, or form you're going to hire a new GM and a new head coach and they're going to take a 5th-year option on a quarterback like Daniel Jones, who's thrown 21 touchdowns in the span of 2 years. It's just not going to happen. So Daniel Jones isn't going to be here for very long. I don't imagine them picking up his 5th-year option. He will probably be let go after next season, and he will, you know, good luck to his future endeavors in whatever team that he is brought up on. You know, when it comes to Saquon Barkley, the same thing. The New York Giants actually took his 5th-year option this year. That's what he's going to be playing on next season, going into his 5th season, and you know, the New York Giants, again, I love Saquon Barkley. I was happy when they drafted him number 2 overall. I know a lot of people were not. You know, looking at it in hindsight, that probably shouldn't have been the case. But in the moment, there is nobody ever, there's no Giants fan I ever seen in 2018 that wanted Quentin Nelson 2 overall. I never saw it. I've been on YouTube for a while, never saw it. Although I love the guy, although he's one of my favorite players in the NFL, I think it's time to let go of Saquon Barkley. As soon as the new season kicks in March, find a trade partner for Saquon Barkley and just get whatever the hell you can for Saquon Barkley. I do not want to risk going into the season with Saquon Barkley. I know Lauren from She Got Sports recommended to do that, and I actually don't think it's a bad idea, but there's just too much risk involved to actually play him in the season and wait till the trade deadline to eventually trade Saquon Barkley. But I don't know if I want to do that, just because of how easily Saquon Barkley can get injured at any point in time in any play of the game, and I just don't want him to risk a season-ending injury, 2-3 months into the NFL season, and then we find that we don't get any trade value for Saquon Barkley. I just want him to cut ties with the Giants and move on. San Francisco, Buffalo are 2 destinations I really think he would succeed in. But, Saquon Barkley, we have to let him go. I'm tired of the mystery that is Saquon Barkley of, is he going to be available? How well is he going to play? What kind of Saquon Barkley are we going to get? How is the offense going to use Saquon Barkley? Because it almost seems like they use him in a different way every day. Whether it's a receiver, whether it's they try to use him in the power running game. They bounce him outside. Screen passes here for Saquon Barkley, split him out wide here. And then they don't really know what to do with Saquon Barkley, because although he's great at a lot of stuff, as a pure running back, he's just, I just don't see it for Saquon Barkley. I need a workhorse running back. The Giants have had that for years, and although his running style is very unique, very different, very fun to watch, I just want to move on from Saquon Barkley. I'm tired of the headache of, the injuries, and every time he touches the ball, I have to worry about him either getting hurt or him just being stuffed and him being scared to run through a hole. I just don't want to deal with it anymore, and I just want to move on and just cut ties. So when it comes to Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, to put it in short, I want Daniel Jones to be our bridge quarterback for this year and help us get to next year's draft and draft a quarterback there. And then with Saquon Barkley, once the new year, the new league year, it comes into effect in March, I just want to let go of Saquon Barkley and trade him, rather. Whether it's a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, 5th round pick, 6th round pick, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna trade him off to the highest paying bidder, and whatever that highest paying bid is, I'm going to let Saquon Barkley walk and trade him there to try to restart my franchise here, even with the players. So that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Do you guys think Daniel Jones should be gone this year? We think we should keep him as a bridge quarterback? What do you think about Saquon Barkley? Do you want him to stay and remain a New York Giant? Although we all want that, is it really the best decision? So that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!